Hey there, Marguerita here with another EFT tapping video for you, and this is to clear one of the most crippling fears of all, the fear of failure. So we're going to dive right into the tapping, and then we're going to talk about reframing failure for you, because if you are not willing to fail your way forward, then you are never going to succeed. So there's multiple layers to this video today, and I really want you to stick around so I can help you to clear out this fear so you can clear your way to taking massive action toward your goals and dreams. So firstly, I want to think about your fear of failure. And if you were not afraid to fail, what would you do differently? If you weren't afraid to fail, if you knew you could not fail, what action would you take right here, right now, today that you're not already taking? It opens up a whole new world of possibilities, doesn't it, when you're not afraid to fail? So if you can say to yourself, I'm afraid to fail because, right? So I'm afraid to fail because I don't want to look like a fool. I'm afraid to fail because I'm afraid I'll be humiliated. I'm afraid to fail because I'm afraid of judgment and criticism. I'm afraid to fail because I will feel like a failure. That's the key, really, is that feeling like a failure. Now, on a scale of 0 to 10, how intense is that fear? Okay, take a note of that number. Let's dive right in and start by tapping on the side of the hand. Even though I have this fear of failure, I deeply and completely love and accept all of me. Even though I have this fear of failure, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept all of me right now. Even though I'm afraid to fail, I choose to love and accept who I am and how I feel right now. Okay, start by tapping through the points inside of the eye. This fear of failure. I'm really afraid to fail. I'm afraid I'll look stupid. I'm afraid I'll be humiliated. I'm afraid I will feel like a failure. I'm afraid of the disappointment. I'm afraid of being judged and criticized. This fear of failure. I'm afraid of what others will think of me. I'm afraid of what my family will think of me. What will they say if I fail? I'll look like such an idiot. There are people who are expecting me to fail. I would hate to prove them right. This fear of failure. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of failure. I destroy, uncreate, and delete being afraid to fail. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of failure. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of being judged and criticized. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of looking stupid and feeling like an idiot. I destroy, uncreate, and delete this fear of feeling like a failure. I destroy, uncreate, and delete the fear of disappointment that comes with failure. I destroy, uncreate, and delete the fear of disappointing others if I fail. I destroy, uncreate, and delete feeling humiliated by failure. This fear of feeling humiliated if I fail. I destroy and uncreate and delete this fear of failure. I destroy, uncreate, and delete being afraid to fail. Okay, deep breath. Let it out. Another deep breath. And release it. Okay, go back and rate your fear of failure on a scale of 0 to 10. Now, hopefully you identified what the real fear was. So, and more often than not, we're afraid to look like a failure to others. We're afraid of others seeing us fail. Because if you think about it, if nobody else saw you fail, would you care as much? You might feel a little bit self-conscious. You know how when sometimes you might trip on the sidewalk and you're kind of like, oh, did anybody see that? You feel a bit self-conscious. You feel a little bit silly. Or even if you trip and fall over and you kind of like jump up and you brush yourself off and like, anybody see that? Because it's embarrassing. I know I do that. But like if you see somebody else trip and fall, what do? Do you stand there and laugh and go, you idiot, look? If you do that, then shame on you. But I bet you that you are the first to jump in and go, oh my God, are you all right? Are you okay? Help them up. Help them pick up their stuff if they've dropped stuff, aren't you? Do you think that they should feel embarrassed or humiliated in any way because they tripped? So why should you? Okay? If you're a kind and compassionate person, your first sense will be to go and help somebody who has fallen over or is in trouble. And the same goes for the people who are around you. And if there is anybody laughing at you, then that's on them. Shame on them. Now, you know that failure is an integral part of success. You cannot succeed if you are not willing to fail, period. And it is the stigma of failure that we have attached to the process of not getting it right. All failure is not getting it right, is doing something that doesn't work out. That's failure. Anybody who has ever been successful at anything has had to fail over and 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 over. There will be many more failures in your journey than there will be successes. They are necessary and essential. So this is why it's so important that you get over any fear of failure. If you think of a baby who first it's laying on its back going goo goo gaga, it can't do anything for itself. Can't crawl, it can't do anything. It has to learn those skills, and it learns them through this desire to get up and walk, because what are all the other people around them doing? They're walking, right? So they have this innate desire to get up on 2 feet eventually and walk, and there are stages to that. And when the baby gets to the point where it climbs up the leg of a table and it holds onto the side of the table to stand, and then it falls down. And then it does it again and it falls down, and then over and over and over until it's able to stabilize itself, because there are a lot of little, do you know how complex walking actually is? It's really freaking complex. You have lots of little tiny stabilizer muscles in your legs, in your back, in your neck, everywhere, that have to actually find the right pathways and the right tension to be able to hold just a stand. And then you've got to walk. So you've got to then compromise your balance as a little tiny baby to take that first step, because you have to shift your weight off both feet onto one leg. So then one leg has to take all the weight and you have to find your balance there. That's why babies fall, because they don't have the neural pathways and the muscular development, the muscular memory. And as the baby tries and fails, tries and fails, tries and fails, tries and fails, what are the adults around them doing? Celebrating every single attempt. They celebrate every attempt. The little baby gets a clap. Even when they take a step and fall over, it's like, tried to walk. That's so cool. Go you. So what happens as we get older? People stop celebrating our attempts, and then this stigma arises about being a failure. So if we fail, we tend to take on this belief that we're a failure, and nothing could be further from the truth. If you're not failing, that you're not succeeding. So you being a temporary in the state of temporary failure just means that you gave something a crack and it didn't work out. Failure is feedback. Failure is learning. Failure is you evolving and expanding and becoming the version of you need to be the great big success that you are capable of becoming. So let's dive into the second round of tapping, the more positive round of tapping around abolishing this fear of failure. Because after you do this tapping today, I want you to be able to go out and go all in on your goals, on your dreams. Are you ready? Okay, let's go. Just start by tapping on the inside of the eye. I choose to embrace failure. I know that failure is just feedback. I know failure is an essential part of success. If I fail, it doesn't mean I'm a failure. It just means what I did didn't work. And that's okay. I choose to embrace failure as a part of my success. I choose to know failure is just feedback. I release all emotional attachment to anybody else's opinion of me. I release all emotional attachment to being afraid of others seeing me fail. I destroy, uncreate, and delete all concerns about being judged and criticized. I embrace failure as part of my journey to success. If I fail, it doesn't mean I'm a failure. If I fail, it means I'm having a go. I choose to be okay with failure. I'm okay with failure. I am ready to fail my way forward. I embrace failure as an essential part of success. I'm ready to fail my way forward fast. I embrace failure and I'm ready to fail my way forward. Failure is just feedback. And I choose to fail my way forward fast. Deep breath. Let it out. Another deep breath. Let all that old energy out. Okay, now rate that fear of failure, that fear of judgment and criticism, the fear of disappointment, the fear of being humiliated, all the stuff that might have come with failure for you in the past. It's pretty cool, isn't it? So now what I want you to do is write down the steps that you are going to take right now as a consequence of not being afraid to fail. What are you going to do differently? Because we can clear the fear of failure, but what are you going to do with that? The point is that you need to be ready to take action. And you need to be willing to risk failing in the short term so you can succeed big in the long term. So I love you loads. I do hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, like and subscribe. Comment below. Let me know how this impacted you. And if you are a conscious entrepreneur who wants to impact the world and you dream big and you want to achieve big things, then you really need to download my 20 wealth creation tips for conscious entrepreneurs and conscious change makers. You can get that by simply typing wealth in the comments below, and I will send you the link to download this free guide, which is a 50-page PDF. It is very comprehensive, and as long as you execute on what you learn, it is going to help to accelerate your progress so much. So I really look forward to sending that to you. Just type wealth in the comments below and I will send you the link to download it. I look forward to seeing you in another video very soon. Until next time, take care and bye for now.